her to compete against other champions for group and best in show wins. For Coral, Aunt Peg hoped Davy would want to continue handling the poodle. We were all there to give the idea a trial run. Sam parked the SUV, then we entered the building and went straight to the crowded grooming room, where the pre-ring preparations would take place. I scanned the cavernous space and saw that Aunt Peg had secured a spot for her crate and grooming table beside the setup belonging to a professional handler, Crawford Langley, and his assistant and husband, Terry D'Annunzio. Coral was standing on the tabletop beside her. "Over here!" Aunt Peg called out, waving a hand above her head. As one of the taller people in the room, she was already hard to miss. "I see Aunt Peg!" Kevin cried eagerly. He dropped my hand and ran on ahead. "We all see her," I muttered. "And I think half the room heard her." Sam reached over and gave me a warning poke. He knows that my relationship with Aunt Peg has always been complicated. His, meanwhile, is utterly straightforward. Sam's a huge fan. His stride lengthened as he went to greet Aunt Peg with a smile. If only it were that easy for me. "We're not late," I said as we approached. Davy had hurried to the other side of the setup. He was already unpacking Peg's tack box and lining up a row of grooming tools along the edge of Coral's table. Aunt Peg's brow rose. "Did I say you were?" "No, but you were thinking it." A snicker came from next door. Terry, no doubt. I hadn't even had a chance to say hello, and he was already having fun at my expense. Terry was a few years younger than me, and drop-dead gorgeous. A fact that was wasted on, well, pretty much everyone, since he only had eyes for Crawford. A long-time couple. They'd tied the knot on Valentine's Day, and we'd all been there to celebrate with them. Terry's hairstyle changed as often as his mood. Today, his locks were blonde and curled softly around his ears. Though he looked as innocent as a Renaissance cherub, I wasn't fooled for a minute. I turned and blew an air kiss in his direction. "Cut that out, mister, or you won't be my favorite person in the room anymore." "Hey," said Sam. He was down near the floor, helping Kevin unpack the bag of toys he'd brought with him. "Hey," Davy echoed in mock outrage. "Hey!" Kevin chimed in, not because he understood what was going on, but because he hated to be left out. My family had a point. "Okay, fourth favorite," I said to Terry. "But that's still pretty good, right?" He cast a glance Aunt Peg's way in case she wanted to object. She sidled over to stand beside Davy and was pretending to be oblivious. Probably a lucky thing under the circumstances. "Close enough." Terry flashed me a cheeky grin. "I'll take it. Crawford's over at the min pin ring, but he'll be back shortly. He wants to talk to you about offering a prize." "Sure," I replied without thinking. "Wait, what?" "A prize for your thingy." That explanation didn't help. "Yes, of course, my thingy," I repeated. "I've been worried about that all day." Davy was trying not to laugh. I hated to think what my teenage son might be imagining. "Terry, what are we talking about?" "You know," he fluttered a hand in the air. "Your school thing." I stared at him blankly. "Oh, for Pete's sake," said Aunt Peg. "The Howard Academy fundraiser. Surely it hasn't slipped your mind. You've been talking about it for a month." "Oh, that." During the week, I worked half days as a special needs tutor at a private school in Greenwich, Connecticut. Howard Academy was a select institution, catering to both children of privilege and scholarship students, and providing a stellar education to all. The school's primary goal was to provide a solid foundation upon which our graduating 8th graders would base the rest of their academic careers. That level of excellence couldn't be maintained on a budget, however. HA had been founded a century earlier in a mansion donated by benefactors Joshua and Honoria Howard. Now the building was showing its age, and growing enrollment over the years had necessitated the addition of 2 new wings. Not only that, but attracting the best teachers also meant paying a premium for them. Howard Academy had managed for decades on the proceeds from